Welcome back, everyone, to Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts. As we continue our German campaign, we have negotiated a peace with the Empire of Japan. After 18 months, it's a minor victory, so now we get to decide what they will pay. 74 million in reparations. So again, not really interested in their ships, although they have a ton of them. But it does not look like there's any kind of territory that I'm able to take from them. So instead, what we'll probably do is we'll just take some of their ships, and if they're not ships that I think I can use, since we're only doing battleships, then we'll probably just scrap them. But let's go ahead and take out some of their battleships here, whatever we can get our hands on, until we run out of money. We're basically going to wipe out their battleship fleet at this point, because I don't think they have much else. Okay, so I did take a number of their battleships, and in addition to those, I've got some other ships that I'm just going to scrap. Some destroyers, a couple of light cruisers. We're just going to scrap them so they're no longer part of what they have, but we took 5 battleships altogether away from them, some of which are really small and only have a crew of like 500. They're all the way back at 1890 tech. So I think, honestly, we're just going to go ahead and for the sake of the number of crew that I have to deal with and the upkeep of these, some of these older ships that I've taken from the Japanese and the French, we're just going to go ahead and scrap those as well. We'll hold on to the Bismarck class ships that I built that are from 1893, but eventually we're going to start replacing those now. So we've got an active fleet of 38 battleships. We've got 3 that we're currently building and 7 that are being constructed. So nearly 50 battleships at this point. All right, well, this is going to be an interesting and quick battle. We are still at war with the Spanish, and we're going to pretty much just wipe them out. 22,000-ton Beowulf, the Braunschweig-class battleship, against a heavy cruiser and a destroyer. I feel like this is going to be super quick work, but we're not going to auto-resolve it. All right, he fired 4 salvos at me before I even spotted him. So we do have some damage, pre-existing damage to the Beowulf, but I'm not too worried about this. I'm going to start swinging around so that I'm heading in the same direction as him. And I think for now we'll keep up full speed because I'd rather have the speed that doesn't allow him to hit me. Oh my gosh, already got a big hit right off the bat. He's coming straight at me, which is going to make it real easy for me to take him out. Actually, you know what? I'm not too worried about his ability to hit me with the ship that he's got, so we will slow down just to allow the ability to get better aim on him. We've got these 13-inch guns that one good round where I land a couple of hits might be enough to destroy him at this point. We got partial pen because we're firing high explosive rounds rather than armor piercing, because the armor piercing would probably just pass right through him. But we should have a good chance of getting a ammo detonation or something here, even though we're only getting partial pen. Got to be careful of any torpedoes he might have. It's really the only thing he could hit me with. But his torp range is only 1.2. There's the damage. Yeah, buddy. Big time. Alright, let's be careful here. There is always the possibility of this light cruiser landing torpedoes on me, and it's going to be a minute or so before we can get our next round of 13-inch shells. So, oh, it's a destroyer. Man, my 8-inch shells are like not even close. Alright, let's really cut it hard now to miss these torpedoes. I'm going to slow down too. Yeah, not a problem. Piece of cake. Now we just need one shot with these 13-inch guns. I'll go ahead and speed back up now. Just need to land one hit. Really ought to be enough to do it. He's a tougher target, though. Ah, we got one. Over pen and flooding. There's the big guns. Yeah, they're going to miss. It's a tough target. My poor 8-inch have no chance. There's just like 2% chance to hit. Only 6% chance with the 13s, but I only need to land one of those. Yeah, it's going down even more. He's running away. He's out of here. He's like, forget this. Yeah, I don't think we're going to get him again. All right, we took out the San Cristo de Burgos. So that's one less Spanish ship on the seas. At some point, we are going to have to go to war again with the Brits and probably with the Americans. Those are the two big navies that we're dealing with. But we're going to have our A game against them, and we're going to have a big, very high-end, high-tech fleet to deal with that. I think we're about to have Mark III 12-inch or 13-inch guns, which is going to be helpful, and I think I might go in and start refitting some of my older dreadnought battleships with those guns if I can. So again, small battle. This is a one-on-one battleship duel between the Rhineland, which is a Kaiser Barbarossa, so it's not one of my big brand new ones, but it is against one of his battleships, and he's only got 2 battleships in his fleet. So if I can take out one of them, he's down to just one. Okay, here we go. This is anything but a sure thing because this is not one of my top-of-the-line battleships. I've got 11-inch guns. We're going to start turning here. I'm going to drop my speed to try and improve my accuracy, which is already decent. It's at 8% and climbing for my 11-inch guns. We'll have to see what this guy's got. Similar in size. There's a hit. Partial pin on the funnel. Caused a fire. Up to 20% chance to hit now. And we've got 8-inch guns, 6-inch guns, 4-inch guns, 11-inch guns. All of those could do some damage. But I've only got just the 2 11s on the back. I think the front is an 8 on this model. He's almost in torpedo range. I've got 3-kilometer range on my torpedoes. We don't want to get too close and give him a chance to hit me easier. Ooh, speaking of. Okay, we're about to identify this guy. So he's got 11.5-inch guns. No torpedoes. So far, he's winning this duel. Having a hard time penetrating. He's just at the edge of our torpedo range. Ooh. We're going to have to land a good hit here somewhere. I'm not liking this so far. I might go in and try to make a torpedo run. If nothing else, it'll throw him off. Let's go ahead and speed up. There's a good hit. Yeah, see, he's getting the better of me so far here. So I don't like that. Of course, going at him like this means that my big guns don't have a shot. So let's go ahead and turn, but that's going to expose our side to him here. I'm not crazy. Ooh, that's a big hit. Yeah, we're not getting the better end of this so far. Let's get a torpedo in the water and force him to maneuver before he lights me up. There goes the torpedo. I'm going to have to keep my speed up, though, even though it's going to hurt my accuracy. What's he doing with this torpedo? I don't know if he's spotted it yet. Now he did. He's starting to turn. Just can't get penetration with these 11-inch guns. He's got some good armor on it. All right, we're going to try to get in closer, get another torpedo at him. Might be my only chance here right now because I'm just not doing much damage. I'm going to need one of my big boys to take him on. I'm going to try to aim right at him, see if I can get that forward torpedo tube firing. There we go. Oh, there's a torpedo detonation. Now I'm down to just one torpedo left. He hit my stash of torpedoes. I want to try and quickly turn and get another one at him. I think that one's going to hit him. Oh, no, it turned at the last minute. And now it's going to miss him. It turned. Darn it. Stupid, unreliable torpedoes. This is not going well. I think we're going to have to disengage. Just not good enough to penetrate his armor. Wow, that was rough. Okay, that was pretty brutal. We lost 218 crew. We didn't do much damage to him. That Spanish battleship was tough. We're going to need one of our dreadnoughts to take him on. And we're definitely going to have to start upgrading our guns on our existing ships so that we can start penetrating some of this armor. Okay, so we're also getting steam turbines in the next month. We're getting stereoscopic rangefinder 2 in a month, and we just got Mark II 13-inch guns. So all of that is to say that next month we're going to start sending some ships in to dry dock for some upgrades, some much needed upgrades with some really nice improvements in technology. We do have 3 ships that are currently under construction, so there's not a lot that's working right now as far as construction goes. But again, we've got $1.8 billion available to us, so plenty of money. We're only limited by the number of ships that we currently have, or the amount of shipyard that we currently have. Okay, so there's our new engine tech, our new rangefinder tech. So first things first, we're going to go in and stop focusing on those things. And where can we put our focus in now? We'll go to hull construction, special machinery, and what else can we do here? Let's go back to focusing on submarine experiments. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at our ship designs. We've still got some really old ships that I'm not sure whether or not they're even worth upgrading, but we'll take a look at them. So first things first, this is the ship that I was just using in action, and we saw how ineffective it was. So let's look at the options we've got. First of all, Krupp armor is going to drop the weight, which is going to be really helpful. Adding an anti-torpedo, even an anti-torp 1, is going to be helpful. Going to steam turbines is going to make a nice difference, I think, in terms of what we can do. Ox engines. We'll look at upgrading even things like torpedoes to 18-inch torpedoes. Let's look at our rangefinder. Stereoscopic 2. It helps a lot with long-range accuracy. Let's go ahead and add that. We'll eventually probably mess with the armor and things like that too, but how about we replace the guns? Granted, we're only looking at 1 turret for big guns on this ship. So we're going to upgrade to the Mark III 12s from the 11s. I think that's going to make a nice difference. Beyond that, electric steering gear. It's going to help with turning rate. That'll help us avoid torpedoes. We can go to Citadel 2, which is going to add a little weight. And then I think we'll probably stick with the existing things that we've got there. So those are nice upgrades. Nothing real major. It's going to be a refit time of 4 months, though. I'm not crazy about that. I wonder if, well, we can reduce that with the armor, but that adds a lot of weight to it. I'm just curious to know if there's something I can do to change that. I feel like that's just probably the way it's going to have to be, unfortunately. What do we got up front? We've got 8s. I wonder if we can maybe add something like some 10s. Nah, too big. Can't even get 9s on there, unfortunately. So we'll have to stick with the 8s. Okay, engine efficiency is fantastic, though. So we may be able to drop one of these off of there. No, you know what? Better yet, let's add a big funnel and then add some speed. Look at how light this thing is now. We can definitely beef up the speed, and then we can beef up the armor and still be in really good shape with this gun, or with this ship. And we can balance it out a little better that way too. Okay, so the Kaiser Barbarossa refit. Let's go ahead and hit refit. We've got 4 of these that we can refit. That's really, it's saying 1 month. That's kind of interesting, because I thought it said 4 months for refit. Oh, it's saying 7 months, but that actually has a lot to do with the capacity that we've got right now as far as our shipyards go. So we won't queue up any more of those for now, because we want to get those ones done, and by then we might have even newer technology and we can refit some others. Something else I need to do, and I've got the money to do this, is I got to switch everybody from fleet in being to sea control, so that they're going to be more likely to actually get involved in action instead of just kind of projecting power and just being a part of my fleet. So most of the newer ships I want to do that with. What's going on here? Oh, these ones still have 14 months to build. That's why. Research-wise, let's take a look. We're 4 months away from electro-hydraulic steering gear 1, which will be a nice upgrade. Advanced weight control is going to become available. Got some new turret mechanisms coming along eventually. New torpedo tech, improved accuracy, reduced dud chance, higher speed, and higher range, up to 5-kilometer range now with any new torpedoes that we put in. I need to send some big ships, some of my dreadnoughts, down around Spain so we can provoke some action there. So let's go ahead and start moving some of these ships down this way. All right, we're going to try to launch a naval invasion in northern Spain. So let's see if we can have some luck with that. This should be northern Spain. Here it is. So we're sending a bunch of ships there. We've got 1 battleship already there, 6 more on the way. That'll give me 7 total. I think that'll probably give us the tonnage we need to make that happen, because a couple of those are pretty big ones. There's a small Spanish fleet in the English Channel, but I'm not going to worry about that too much. All right, so it looks like it's actually going to make the naval invasion happen over here, and we need 154,000 tons. So we've actually got to start taking all of these ships and move them here. And we'll probably send some more down there. There's a bunch of Spanish ships out here in this area. I would love for them to come and hit me in this naval invasion area. Research. Submarine experiments are still a ways off. Internals protection, we're about to get repair party, which will be nice. We're about to complete these things here. We've got 4 ships currently undergoing refit, 3 still being built. Let's take a look and see where those stand. We've got about 29,000 available crew, so it's not like we really need to reduce the size when these new ones come in. 2 months left to go on repairs there. 1 month to all these refits are done, and then I think the building project will actually finish faster after that. Okay, we're actually under our shipbuilding capacity now. We've got capacity for another 60,000 tons. So it's only 7 months to complete these. I think we'll go ahead and maybe do some more refits at this point. Bismarck class, Kaiser Wilhelm der Grosse are the oldest classes that we currently have. So that's what we'll probably go in and do next rather than queue up more new vessels. Okay, we actually had already deleted those ones because we had upgraded them before. So we're looking at the König class now and how we can upgrade those ships. We'll go to turbines. Same thing here. We've got some new upgrades we can make that are going to make a difference. But this one is already a slightly better ship than what we had in the other upgrade. So not as much quite needs to be done to this one. Bigger torpedoes. Got a stereoscopic rangefinder 2. We've got Mark III 12.9s already, so that's about as good as we can get with the guns. Not a lot needs to change with that. Wouldn't mind adding to the range a little bit. We could add a little bit of speed. We'll take off these medium funnels in favor of one big one in the center and see how that... See, we're still good on engine efficiency and we reduce the weight in the process. Pitch is kind of high, and I think the way we can deal with that is with more deck armor. So let's go to our main deck, and that is going to start reducing that pitch. It's going to add to the refit time. Actually, it reduced the refit time. And this is reducing pitch to a much more acceptable rate and roll as well. And it's actually reducing the refit time. I don't know if we need much more than 9 inches of deck armor, but that's going to make this thing much more accurate. I think that's going to be helpful. Let's go ahead and... Oh, now we're down to 1 month refit time. So adding to the armor actually reduced the refit time. I love it. Very cool. All right, so those are some pretty simple refits, and that's a quick refit that we can make. It's only going to take 1 month. So we'll get those ships in the dockyard and right back out again. And we'll take a look and see how many of those ships we have that we can actually upgrade here. Okay, so the 1906 version of the Koenig class, let's hit refit. We've actually got 6 of those. That's awesome. That's really going to be nice to make those upgrades. They're not all going to happen in 1 month, with there being that many of them. It's obviously going to slow that down a little bit. It's still showing 2 months, though. It is going to bump back the completion of our new dreadnoughts, though. Not a big deal. I've got new ships going down. We actually need a total of 154,000 tons to be able to move this naval invasion forward. Okay, so right off the bat, we're going to get a chance to see how these upgraded Koenig-class ships perform in battle. We've got one against another one of these Numancia-class ships. He's only got 2 last I checked. And I had a rough time with him the last time. This other one is one of my old French battleships that I don't expect to do a whole lot. Mostly just kind of hopefully take some fire from the San Juan. Okay, we've spotted them. Let's go ahead and drop our speed. The Bayern's in the rear. The old French battleship's in front. And we've already landed a nice hit from the Bayern. There's 12.9-inch guns. We should have good accuracy. We've got a 5-kilometer torpedo range now. Not that I expect to hit much from there, but at least will cause them to have to adjust to maneuver. Oh yeah, we're landing some nice hits too. .73% chance is what I was showing. 82% chance to hit now with these 12.9-inch guns. Fantastic. And that's at a decent range. I mean, that's 3 kilometers out. We're starting to be able to stay back a little further and almost get guaranteed hits. 96% chance to hit. Boom. Now we're talking. Now this Spanish battleship is not going to survive. Just those refits. This isn't even one of my top-of-the-line battleships, but the refit and the newer vessel makes a big difference. Look at that guy. He is on fire. He's listing big time. Pretty much dead in the water already. It's going to get harder to hit just because of the damage that they've already taken. But I think they're toast. That flooding is all across the whole bottom of the ship. There's no way they stay on top of that. Oh, well, I guess they are. They're pumping it out. Got some solid pumps going on there. Byron did get some torpedoes in the water. Oh, I don't see them. Must have done that a while ago. Let's start swinging around. There we go. Big hits. Oh, now Now the heavy cruiser is like, no, don't shoot at me. One hit from the Bayern's big guns is going to probably wreck this thing. He's trying to turn into me. But here come the 9-inch shells. Only partial pen, but here come the 13s. Oh yeah. Beautiful. Sorry, San Juan. Your time is limited. There they go. Extensive fire. Beautiful. Thank you for that refit. Well, the Spanish Empire was working on battleships because now they've got 7 in their active fleet. So they must have been either repairing or otherwise constructing them. You can see here we have an active fleet of 45 ships. Total tonnage 741,000 tons right now, which puts me way ahead of most of these other smaller powers. Puts me really close to France, who has 304 ships in her fleet. Japan's got 224 ships. The Americans have 322 ships. They have 110 battleships, the Americans do. We're going to have to take them on at some point, but I'd like to try to conquer some more of Europe first before we try to take on the Americans. Well, wasn't expecting that, but we are now at war with the United States, so I guess that is happening much sooner than I planned or hoped. An urgent alliance is formed between the U.S. and the Spanish Empire for their common foe. We are 4 months away from completing this naval invasion, but man, did things just get much more complicated. Good news, though, is that we are 3 months away from 3 new dreadnought battleships that are 27,000 tons getting into things. It's time, though, to start queuing up some new ones because we are going to need a top-of-the-line fleet if we're going to take these guys on. Okay, so we're going to throw things kind of back in the back here so we can try to get some superimposed guns up here in the front. I think we're probably going to need, let's try the standard superimposed barbette here. What can we get? 13s. These are Mark IIs. I feel like that's probably the direction we want to go here. We can have up to 4 of these, so we could do superimposed on the front and the back if we want. I would like to try to bring those back, though, so we can shorten the distance that our protection's got to be on the inside. You can see that right there. All right. Can we throw another standard superimposed on the back and actually get 4 batteries of main guns on this thing? That would be incredible. Obviously, that's going to add a lot to the weight, but holy cow, would that be huge to have a total of 8 13-inch guns. We're also going to have to add some secondaries. Not going to worry about torpedo launchers on this thing, though, because we're not going to be getting that close to people. Let's get some 8-inch guns going here. Spread those out a little bit. Really good engine efficiency. I wouldn't mind having a little bit more speed. It's going to add to the weight, though. Radio for the first time. I want the best long-range accuracy we can get. That's going to be stereoscopic. We're getting close on weight. We're not going to be able to add a ton of armor to this thing, unfortunately. We'll do increased HE. Let's try the capped AP shells. I like the nose fuse, though. It adds to the fire chance. Okay, we can add some weight to this thing now. Deck armor is going to reduce that pitch. We have a big aft weight offset problem, though. So we're going to help that by adding to the fore belt. So the front's going to be a lot more protected than the rear. But that's okay. Citadel armor. Let's add to the inner belt. I wouldn't mind increasing the gun caliber here. We can go a little bit before we... Actually, I won't worry about the caliber. How about the length? Yeah, we can't go too much there either. Okay, that's pretty good. I like it. What's this one going to be called? This is going to be our Baden class. This is going to be 38, almost 39 million apiece. Let's queue up 3 to start. Eventually, I'm going to want more than that, but we don't want to queue up so many that it messes with the completion of these other 3. So once those 3 are done, we'll probably do some more refits to some of our existing ships, but let's see what happens with the Americans first. The technology has matured to start producing the first war submarine capable of surviving in multiple battle conditions. Up to 2 submarines can join a fighting group based on the limited communication that can be executed on board a submarine. So we can now add submarines to our fleet groups. So we're going to definitely do that. We are, after all, Germany. So submarines are a big part of who we are. We've completed the tree for submarine experiments. So now the focus becomes on improvements and on hulls. So we'll keep a line going on those while we continue to work on other things like armor quality. So let's go ahead now and take a look. We're still 1 month away from completing these ships here. Submarines. Oh, it's still not letting me build any? Interesting. We don't have to actually design those, do we? Let's take a look at sub design or build ship. I don't know if that's where... I feel like it's a separate thing, so maybe we still don't have everything we need in order to be able to do that. There's a torpedo boat ambush here. I'm going to try to withdraw from that. It looks like it's going to make me fight it out. That should not be a major issue, but our naval invasion should be complete, and we do have some American ships that we can see starting to come across. There's a bunch of them. So we're going to get our chance to take on the Americans here soon. Okay, well, he ran away, so we didn't encounter those torpedo boats, but it says we failed to gain control of northern Spain. So that entire naval invasion that we just devoted all those resources to came to nothing. However, we do have a really nice fleet there in that area that maybe we can go up and start taking on the Americans with. He's got a lot of ships headed this way. Looking to see where they're headed. Looks like they're headed actually toward the North Sea. So what else is there? We've got 9 battleships in the area, but none of our really big ones. So I'd like to send at least one of my big ones. The Brandenburg would do up there, and then I think we should have our other ones finishing up commissioning here real soon. And we are at the place where I think we can refit some new ones. So this is actually the earliest one of our dreadnought classes, the Braunschweig, and we're going to actually go ahead and upgrade that now. So let's go ahead and hit refit. That's going to give us basically a copy of it that we're going to then be able to go in and start upgrading with things like better engines, new steering, new armor. This is going to free up weight for us to do some new things. Add radio to those, stereoscopic rangefinders. What do we have on here as far as guns go? I don't know what I just did there, but there we go. These are Mark III 13, so we've already got the best guns that are available to us on this one, but we could probably stand to maybe add another. Well, I don't think we got enough room to do that, but I wouldn't mind scooting everything back. And maybe we'll go to long funnel too. I don't know if that's what we already had or not. When engine efficiency is good, we can actually just go down to one funnel here. I'm dropping everything back on this thing to make things better. I'm going to go ahead and add some 4-inch guns to this. up on the deck, just so we have a little bit of added protection against those smaller, like destroyers, torpedo boats. Gives us a little bit extra firepower that will help in those situations. And then beyond that, everything looks pretty good. We're going to just add some protection to the deck. And this is actually reducing the pitch and the roll as well. So, and then the main belt, I think we'll add a little bit to that. That's reducing pitch and roll too. And it's going to give us some added protection against those big guns. Torpedoes. What kind of torpedoes do we have? We have picric acid here. Yeah, I guess we'll keep that. We don't have torpedoes on these. That's right. Okay, not a problem. Only 1 month on the refit time, though. Okay, we're going to upgrade these 3 to the new one. It said 9 months. Really? I thought it said only 1 month on the refit. Okay, it is only saying 1 month, so we're good there. All right, we'll go another couple turns, and then we'll probably wrap up this episode for today. I want to see if we can get into at least a little bit of combat with the U.S. I should point out that because of a lot of events and things that have happened, we have reduced our naval funds down to $1 billion at this point. Okay, here we go. We are going to be taking on a pretty significant American fleet, but his Fargo-class battleship is the best he's got in this group. And that is a 18,000-ton ship. We've got one of our brand new 27,000-ton vessels, along with the Brandenburg, which is one of our Saxons, that's 22,000, plus a couple of lesser ships. But it's a pretty significant enemy fleet. So we're going to have our first crack at the Americans, and we'll wrap up this episode with this battle. All right, 4 battleships, 2 heavy cruisers, 2 light cruisers, 6 destroyers, and 6 torpedo boats. That's going to make things interesting. Now, we've got one of our older vessels here, the Hagen. The Bayern over here is also older, but it's got some decent weapons on it. But these are the 2 big boys here, the Brandenburg, and then the biggest of them all, the Gneisenau, with those massive guns on board. This is before we were able to add a second barbette on the back, so it's not quite the newest technology, but it's pretty darn close. 13-inch and 8-inch guns on board that one. Brandenburg's got a variety, including 5s, 8s, and 13s. Okay, we've spotted the enemy. We've got the Hagen out front. That's probably the ship I can afford to lose the most. So hopefully that's who his torpedo boats and destroyers will go after first. In the meantime, we're going to do our level best to try and wreck those smaller ones, because they're really the ones I'm most concerned about as far as threats go because of the torpedoes. Man, look how awful that aim is when we're trying to hit smaller vessels that are in smoke. They are definitely trying to come in close and put a torpedo on me, though. So we're going to start turning now. We only need to land a couple of good shots on each of them to take them out. But oh man, holy cow, what hit me? Timeout. That's friendly fire. No! Oh my gosh, look at all that damage, and it was caused by friendly fire. 12.9-inch shells. 4 of them. Oh my goodness. Why? Brandenburg, why? Was not at all expecting that to happen. That's frustrating. All that damage caused by one of my own on one of my big ships. Jeez. All right, I guess we're going to have to be more careful of going straight at ships like that. We'll get on top of the flooding, but that was just completely unnecessary. That was significant damage, too. All right, we're coming back around. Hopefully these guys will come out of smoke soon and we can land some hits on them. My goodness, that really sucked. Not how we wanted to start our war against the Americans, that's for sure. Need to land some hits, though. Just 8-inch guns there to fight with. Brandenburg's got a lot more as far as smaller guns. But these destroyers are holding up well against it. But they're all out of smoke now, so now's the time to hit them. Come on, Gneisenau. Need you to land some hits with this 13. Blow this guy up. Man, that wasn't even close, dude. Nothing was close. Alright, Brandenburg, fire on this guy that's right next to you. Come on, baby. No, don't fire on him. I want you to fire on this one. Jeez. Don't make it harder than it's got to be. There you go. Still didn't do much with the big guns, though. But that was enough. I think the Buckley's gone. There we go. One destroyer down. How about we don't fire across our own ships anymore? Oh boy. Torpedoes in the water. That's going to hit the Brandenburg. He didn't even try to avoid that. At all. Alright, we got to get a little more cautious here if we can. And the first thing I want to do is get everybody back on auto. Reset to auto targeting is control and space. I don't know why the Gneisenau is firing forward instead of on the guy that's right next to him. He's coming straight at me. He has no torpedoes, though. Oh boy, Brandenburg. No, no. Can we not fire across them again? We made that mistake once already. I think what I'm going to have to do is separate these into separate divisions. So we'll put the Bayern with the Brandenburg, who's suffering badly from the flooding from our own freaking ship. Gneisenau's taking some damage too, though. There you go. Wow, look at those long shells coming in from his battleship in the distance. There we go. There's another destroyer down. We've got one back here now. Again, no torpedoes. Light cruisers about to be toast. Not a great start. Alright, we got him out of there. Alright, let's go ahead and start splitting up these two squadrons now. Deal with this light cruiser, and then start taking on the big boys. That's not a real big one, but it's old. Let's see what we're dealing with back here. There we go. Okay, that's either a heavy cruiser or a battleship right there. We'll know soon enough. Oh! Whatever it was, it's toast. 12.9-inch shell did it in. It's not a battleship, though. Alright, things are starting to settle down here a little bit. Okay, another small vessel making a run on us. Let's try to hit him before he gets too close. It's a torpedo boat, it appears to be. Anyway, he's got a bunch of them making runs now. Let's try to stay at a decent distance away. There's a battleship right there. The O'Bannon, 12.7-inch guns, 14 inches of armor. All right, he's getting in super close now with this torpedo boat. Let's light him up. Oh, come on. Shooting right over him like that. Can't even come close. All right, let's go after the big ships then. Back over here. We're trying to hit the O'Bannon, try to do some damage there, but only 25% chance to hit at the moment. All right, we just nailed something. Took out a destroyer. Let's watch because he's getting in close. Nobody's firing at this guy. Oh, why did we just put them all back into one? I must have dragged it by accident. That might be the highest amount of damage I've ever seen caused. One 12.9-inch shell just caused 86,000 damage and insta-sunk that destroyer right here. That was insanity. Meanwhile, our other squadron over here is continuing to fight it out. We're trying to get them back in order because they somehow got merged. So they're coming up against these two battleships here. So that's going to be interesting. Gneisenau, of course, has some damage that we've got to worry about. But it's got those 13-inch guns that I think can really put a hurt on this battleship. Although that didn't do much. Let's take a look and see what's going on over here. We're trying to deal with, there goes that light cruiser, Tuscaloosa. Now we'll try to deal with the Diana torpedo boat. They still got 2 torpedoes. So we've got to be a little careful here. Ooh, big hit. That was from a 5-inch gun. All right, let's be careful here because Gneisenau is getting in awfully close to these battleships. I'm going to start turning. Oh, we're having trouble turning. That's the problem. They've got some damage to the rudder or something here. They are turning, just turning really slowly, which means I can't bring my guns to bear. And I've got a lot of guns. There, I guess we are getting pretty close to being able to fire all of them. We're also listing a little bit. 50% chance to hit with the 13-inch guns. There we go. Oh, we landed one hit that did very little. Come on. Get it turned. Okay, I'm going to start turning Bayern toward the rest of that fleet, which they seem to be suddenly all ganging up on those couple of ships over there. Gneisenau's getting themselves into a really unhealthy situation here right in the middle of these ships. And the Hagen's way the heck back here for some reason. Not even following. The ship that they're supposed to be in a squadron with. Really kind of interesting. on, Gneisenau. Hit him. Dang, only 27% chance to hit right now. And they're right in the middle of all 4 of these battleships. Up to 45% chance with this next salvo. See if we can land these ones a little better. Thankfully not taking a lot in the way of hits. Come on, 13s. There we go. That was a nice hit. Still, not doing a lot of damage. Alright, we're about to be in the middle of everything right here. This is not a good situation that I've gotten Gneisenau into. And I think we're going to probably deal with torpedoes we're not going to be able to miss here in a second. I'm going to start turning as quickly as I can. Here it comes. There's no way I can avoid that one. It's going to nail me. All right, I want to hit the Florida. Oh, yeah! Right off the bat. As soon as we targeted the Florida, we got a good hit there. This is ugly, though. And the other 3 battleships are nowhere near getting to where they need to be to help out. I don't even know what the Hagen's doing. I'm going to detach and then just tell Hagen to go AI control until he gets back into the mix. Jeez. This is a mess. Gneisenau is going to have to take a beating here. Yes! Insta-kill on the Florida, though. At that range, there wasn't no missing. Alright, let's go after the Montana with the big guns. Shift Alt right click to aim the big guns at them. Okay. The other 2 are starting to get back into position to be able to help out. I think we'll go after the Montana with them as well. Put all the firepower on Montana for now. All these secondaries are just swarming around me. Oh, beautiful. That was an 8-inch shell that caused 22,000 damage. Oh, there's another point-blank torpedo. I had no chance of missing, but it was a dud. All right, we're doing our best with the American fleet right now, considering some of the mistakes that have been made. All of our firepower is focused on Montana at the moment. Then there'll be 2 more battleships we'll need to deal with, O'Bannon and Fargo. Come on, Byron, hit him. Oh, it wasn't the Byron, it was the Brandenburg. 12,000 damage. Boom. All right, let's swing Gneisenau around. Start going after these battleships. I still don't know what in the world the Hagen's doing. But it's our weakest ship by far anyway, so not a huge deal. Alright, we've got 2 torpedo boats and a destroyer and a heavy cruiser, and then the 2 battleships. Alright, we took out the Ariel. That's a torpedo boat. We've got some good hits on some of these other ones. I think Gneisenau is going to start wreaking havoc on these ships here in a second. So are the others, though. New Haven is getting lit up. I think it's going to sink here in just a second. Byron was getting some good shots on him. There goes New Haven. Alright, let's deal with this destroyer real quick. He's out of torpedoes, so honestly he doesn't really have much of a threat to offer. Okay. Gneisenau is going to start focusing on the battleships now. And we're going to start closing with the other 2 as well. Go ahead and speed things up a little bit on time. The only thing I'm worried about right now, of course, would be like the big explosion, the ammo detonation type of hit that instantly seriously hurts one of my ships. Otherwise, I think we're in good shape in terms of the firepower that we're able to focus on these remaining battleships. Alright, let's focus on Fargo because they're right alongside me right now. Gotta be careful, we are taking some flooding. Let's try to take out the Grand Gulf with our secondaries. Mostly just minor damage happening right now in the battleships. Ooh. We're taking some hits though. Okay, we finally took out the Grand Gulf, that last torpedo boat. That just leaves the 2 battleships now. All of our firepower's currently focused on the Fargo, which is taking a lot of hits, but not a ton of damage at the moment. And I'm just slowly catching up with my other squadron. Gneisenau's got a lot of flooding damage, so we've got to be careful. A couple more compartments could spell real trouble there. There are some good hits on the Fargo. Fargo's starting to see some serious fires. I think fires might do Fargo in. It spread significantly throughout the center and the aft of the ship. Really not much going on with the O'Bannon right now because we've just focused so much firepower on the Fargo as he's running. He's trying to get out of here as best he can. See if I can try to turn so I can get more guns on him. And a lot of partial pens right now. Well, I think we're mostly firing HE. I want to switch all over to AP, see if we have any better luck with the armor-piercing shells. Gneisenau is starting to really close in now on Fargo. See, AP's not going to do a lot. I mean, HE's not going to do much at this point because we've already got fires throughout the ship. So let's start trying to penetrate the hull. Maybe we can cause some flooding. There we go. Now the flooding's happening. It might be the faster way to sink Fargo. Because she's taking a beating from the fires and it hasn't worked. Well, that's kind of cool. I don't remember seeing that before. The funnel's actually bent over from the damage that was just caused. Man, that thing is taking a beating. We have landed so many hits. In fact, I'm going to start firing on the O'Bannon with the Gnyza now. We'll let these other two keep working on Fargo. There it goes. Fargo's toast. Okay. 1 to go. And this will be a really, really nice start against the Americans, which we desperately need because they've got 300 ships in their fleet. They've got over 100 battleships. And we've only sunk a few of them here to start. But it is a good start. We've got to knock them down to size, or else over the next 20, 30 years of this campaign, he's just going to be so far in front of me that I'll never be able to catch up. Alright, it's mostly just mop-up work with O'Bannon at this point. I don't expect him to do anything to me. Just need to penetrate a couple more compartments to cause some additional flooding to finish sinking them. Starting to spread fires again. Just no more friendly fire, please. These American battleships, though, they can take a beating. That, I think we've discovered. Unless you're a really close range. Which I don't want to be. There we go. Alright, this is where I've got to be careful not to end up with friendly fire. I don't want to get in too close. Alright, we ought to be able to finish this thing off now. There we go. No, I'm not ending the battle before I sink the O'Bannon, dude. There we go. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. 14,000 victory points, 5,100 crew losses for them to just 190 for me. That's 4 battleships, 2 heavy cruisers, 2 light cruisers, 6 destroyers, and 6 torpedo boats. All sunk. No major damage done by the Americans on me. I did do some friendly fire damage, but we'll wrap it up right there. Let me know your thoughts. Use the comment section below. We'll be back again soon with another episode. Thanks for watching.